Fundamentally, to understand lightning, we have to understand whether this is an artificially made phenomena or natural phenomena. So, lightning fundamentally it's a natural phenomena. First point, it is a natural phenomena. Second one, why does it take place is because there is movement of charges, movement of electric charges. Whenever there is charge movement, we call in terms of, we call it current fundamentally. This current fundamentally comes because there is something called potential difference. It's also called voltage. So fundamentally these three factors, potential difference, current, electric charge, they're all linked. All this fundamental leads to electricity. So link between all these things is what we are going to discuss with respect to lightning. That is a whole session about. So fundamentally a cloud, there are different types of lightnings, there are different types of movement of charges. Some charges, they happen within the cloud, that is called inter-cloud movement. Charges move from one place to the other. If it is happening within the cloud, it is called inter. It is called intra. If it is happening between the clouds, it is called intra-cloud. Intra-cloud movement of charges. And if it is happening between clouds and earth surface, that is called lightning. That is essence. If it is happening within the cloud, it is called intra-cloud. If it is happening between the clouds, it is called inter-cloud. And if it is happening between the cloud and the earth, it is called lightning, fundamentally. As simple as that. Electric charges movement from top to bottom. But should be a necessity difference. There should be a necessity why these electric charges move down. So we know whenever there is a potential difference, potential is nothing but the amount of work done to move a charge from one point to, if you bring a positive charge from infinite to that particular point, that is called potential. So if there is a difference between that potential or energy levels, that is called potential difference. That potential difference creates movement of charges fundamentally, and that creates current and etc. etc. So you need to know that these are the different types. So what is it all about? So before we go ahead about what about this topic and all, let's look at the concept of lightning. How is lightning formed and all that? So a small thing, just look at this. Now, usually what happens is there are positive and negative charges. Usually the positive charges are a little lighter. They go to the top of the cloud and they stay there, and they are less in amount usually. And next, the negative charges, the movement is faster. They are heavy in amount. They are to the lower part of the cloud. So what happens is when this heaviness increases, when this heaviness of the negative charge increases, we already know that earth basically has its overall positive charge. So negative and positive charge both attract each other. We know that point also. Because they attract each other, the electrons will start flowing down. But of course, in between you have air, which is a bad conductor. But after a particular saturation level, what happens is even air will not be able to stop the charges from conduction. So what happens is sudden movement of electrons to the earth surface will start like this. Those sudden movements form something called lightning. That means fundamentally lightning is nothing but movement of charges from one point to the other point. But the problem here is on the earth surface there are human beings. These lightnings will strike them. That means indirectly electric current is hitting them. So when you get electric current, there is a magnetic effect which starts in the body and you get stuck to the current and it destroys and leads to death or lot of other things which can happen, burning, or sometimes people also become paralytic because of sudden stroke. So all these things happen. So fundamentally lightning is nothing but sudden flow of electric current from the lower part of the cloud, which is enhanced with a lot of negative charges, to the over optimized positive charge of the earth surface. A sudden movement of this is called lightning, and since on earth surface people stay, they are struck by it. Thunderstorms, hailstorms, all other factors also encourage that, and this lightning will create this one. But before that, we have to understand this charge. Why does it happen? Is because you know that as we move up, the temperature decreases. As we move up, the temperature decreases. That means clouds, water droplets, whatever are there, the temperature of the water droplets also will reduce. Water droplets, their temperature will also reduce as you go higher, and slowly these water droplets will form ice. They'll form ice crystals. The problem is, just like if water and water interact with each other, there may be a molecule movement. But when solid and solid strike each other, that means this ice and ice, they strike each other, and once two objects strike each other, we have read in physics, there is creation of charge. So what happens is, when this ice and ice strike each other, charge is created. This charge is fundamentally called static charge, or static current, or static charge. That charge is nothing but this negative and positive. So fundamentally, when two things are struck, charges move, static charge is created, and once there is differentiation in the charges, what happens is, there is movement of charges from one point to the other, and that movement is nothing but creation of electric current, which is in the form of lightning, which strikes people, and therefore so many deaths. And since the natural phenomena, we don't know when it can occur, especially happens when on cloudy days and all. So this is the concept behind what is lightning. So moving on, why am I talking about this? That is very important, because 27 lives in Gujarat were lost, and about 2,810 lives lost in 2019 and 20. Therefore, such a loss of life in this generation due to lightning, very bad. So, what is this? I told you, natural phenomena where electric charges travel from one point to the other. It is sometimes it is accompanied by flash floods and thunderstorms also. Intercloud and intracloud, within the cloud, intra, between the clouds, inter, and cloud to ground lightning. This is nothing but this one. And what is created? A higher electric voltage is created. Always remember, whenever there is potential difference, it means voltage. Voltage means current. All these three are always linked. So current is nothing but charges. Movement of charge is called current. This concept, please don't forget. Potential difference, movement of charges, current production. Next, moving on. What is a concept? As I told you, when temperature drops, water droplets that are held in the clouds begin ice crystals. These ice crystals will rub against each other, creating a static charge in the clouds. Charge is created. Now, what is electrostatic discharge? This is very important. Now, the positive and negative charges, that is plus and minus, always positive will get attracted to negative, and air is a poor conductor, but it reduces the flow of charge, but at some point of time, the domination of the negative charges becomes so heavy that the air also cannot do anything. So charge buildup happens, and there is a discharge. That means sudden flow of the electrons movement from the top to the bottom. That is called electrostatic discharge. When the electrostatic discharge is more, lightning is more, and the effect of the lightning in terms of destruction is also more. That is what you have to understand. So that is a point. So what are the causes? Weather systems, according to IMD, cyclonic circulations. Please remember, near the northern Arabian Sea, a low pressure region is created. Whenever low pressure region is created, things will flow from that end to this end. Therefore, from there you can happen. Next, western disturbances, they originate over Mediterranean Sea and easterly trough. It is a zone of low pressure in the easterly winds, and active ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. All these are the causes for lightnings to happen in general with respect to the world atmosphere. Now, what is the impact of it? Loss of life, health effects will be there, environmental impact. Once, like forest fires or forest is destructed, once a forest is destructed, the ecosystem, flora and fauna and all these will change. So there will be a loss of biodiversity. These are the negative impacts. But what are the positive impacts? It can produce nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides. These nitrogen oxides are useful for fertilization of soil and oceans and trigger chemical reactions to create ozone. So fundamentally, this is to create O3, which again protects your earth, the blanket for the earth against ultraviolet and other radiations from the sun. Therefore, the only positive impact of lightning is creation of nitrogen oxides, which create ozone layer. So already we know because of GHG and other emissions, there is a holes in the ozone. Now these ozone holes are being filled by these gases. That's the only advantage that we have. So otherwise, lightning, very dangerous. So how to tackle? We should go for alert system, and then please remember this rule, 30 is to 30 rule. It advises people to take shelter if they hear the thunder within 30 seconds of lightning. The minute you see lightning, after that 30 seconds, within 30 seconds, if you are able to hear a thunder, so 30 seconds leading to thunder, you should be very careful. You will end up getting a lightning of heavy level. Therefore, this is called 30 to 30 rule. 30 seconds, and before 30 seconds, if you are able to see the thunder, heavy lightning, very dangerous. So, and then we have to go for lightning protection services and forest fire management. These are the things that we have to do to tackle the problem of lightning. So, I hope all of you have understood the concept.